I'm Nicole Chamberlain. I arranged Metallica's Enter Sandman for flute quartet, or maybe flute choir if you want a bigger group. It'll work for that too. We're going to go over the extended techniques. You've probably seen some strange notation and wondering what that means. So we're going to start with the beatboxing part, and that is when you see a syllable over a note head. What you're going to do is finger the note indicated, and then you're going to use that syllable to articulate the pitch, which will sound more percussive than actual pitch. For example, you'll see CH, and what you're going to want to say is ch, and then you're going to use your flute finger, maybe it says A. We're going to finger A, and I'm just going to use ch. Ch, ch. Notice I don't have a flute face on. It's not a good embouchure. You see me smiling, and I just blow out ch, and I use my flute as an amplifier. Ch. The next syllable you may see is TS, and that happens in the alto flute. I don't have an alto flute with me, but I have my bass flute, so it's a similar sound. So you'll see a TS, and tss, tss, tss. That's the hi-hat of the drum set. Tss, 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 tss. Pretty easy. Just make sure you don't use a flute face. Use the syllable. The other one is boo, and that happens a lot in the bass flute. And boo is the bass drum or the kick drum, and you went. So you're going to press your lips together and let some air explode out. So you can kind of hear how it snaps. It's a pretty percussive sound. The next sound is SHH, and that happens in the hush little baby part, in the flute 1 and 2, and you'll just go shh. Again, you'll see teeth. Sometimes I'll pull my top lip down shh, so more air gets into the flute. But the important thing is not to do flute embouchure, because then you'll get pitch. You want more of the percussive sound. You want it to sound ugly. The other thing you'll see is P-I-Z-Z, and that's pizzicato. And it should resemble the sound that strings make when they pluck their instruments. So I like to use D-O-O, like do, like it's a really hard do. Like if this is my top teeth right here, and this is my tongue tongue's pressed up against the back of my teeth. There's air built up behind my tongue, and I go. So that will sound. I'm using my tongue to thrust backwards, and that lets the air release, so I get a popping sound. There's different ways people like to use pits. That's been the one that's been the clearest for me. The last, that's the last of the beatboxing. And then the other thing is the pitch bends, which the C flutes have again in measure 6, 5, the end of 5 into 6. And it's on an E. The first flutes have E, and then you see like an F flat, quarter flat. What we're going to do is we're going to bend our notes out. And you can bend your note. You can kind of make it sharper by rolling out, lipping up, lifting your head up. So in measure 5, I'll start in measure 5. That's my metronome. That clicking. Well, it's my foot. But, all right, so I go 1, 2, 3, 4. So I want that bend in time in measure 6. 1, 2, 3, 4. And it's the same idea for the second flute. I just finger B, and I just roll in and roll out. The last thing is the flutter tonguing, which everybody has. And so flutter tonguing, you can do it 2 ways. You can use your tongue and roll your R's. Or if you can't do that, you can gargle or growl. And that sounds like... So in flute terms, I'll do the fluttering with the tongue. With the gargle, I do better with the gargling or the growling in the lower register. It's a little more clear. And if you still want a more expansive tutorial on how to flutter tongue, I would highly recommend Robert Dick's tutorial on YouTube. He does the gargling version, which he's a big advocate for, and it's a step-by-step process. And I've had a lot of luck using that with some of my students who said they couldn't flutter tongue because they couldn't roll their R's. So you may find that a very successful technique like I have with my students. I hope you have fun with Enter Sandman. Please let me know if you play it. I'll list it on my website as a performance date. I like to be aware of those kind of things. And I hope it's the cheesy fun that it's meant to be. Thank you.